Trash is a story of a, well, it's a story of corruption, and it's a story of poverty, and it's a story of, in literal terms, it's a story of a robbery in which a very rich, powerful politician who's running for re-election has a certain amount of money which he's kept and been bribed, and he's using for bribes for re-election. And this money is stolen by a character at the beginning of the movie, Jose Angelico, played by Wagner Moura, who you don't really understand what is happening. But he manages, just before the police capture him, to throw something away, which is his wallet, which actually has a series of clues as to where the money is. And it lands in the trash, and some three kids, totally by chance, find this wallet and then decide to keep it and to find out what is inside the wallet and what it means. So in that sense, it's an adventure film for kids. I think that the extraordinary thing about the novel is that it has this sort of intense narrative. It's a young person's book. It's for young people. And it's a fast read. And it keeps coming at you. The story keeps tumbling at you. And I liked the idea of doing a sort of young person's or kids action picture. It's not really an action, it's a thriller. But I thought that would be a huge challenge for me because I've never done anything like it, and a huge challenge obviously to do it in a language I didn't speak. Well, the three characters in the story have an extraordinary journey, and it's a journey that challenges them in every way. It's a story about friendship as much as it's a story about corruption and poverty. It's a story about morality and religion and a sense of what's right. And the three boys are very different, the three characters are very different, and very much modelled on the kids that we cast. There's sort of this character called Ratto, played by Gabriel, who's a sort of outcast who lives on his own in the sort of sewers, who joins this other two, Gardo and Raphael, who are much better friends. They work together, they're partners in picking on the landfill site. And their friendship, their understanding of each other and who they are and who they want to become, because the story is in a sense about their liberation as much as their struggle, is the story of the film. It seemed pretty obvious that we needed a level of authenticity with the kids who were the trash kids. So they weren't going to be trained actors, and sometimes it's easier working with, and I mean that in a sense of the result. So you're not actually having to unpick certain skills, and that was true in this case. And we were looking for a level of authenticity which these kids brought, but they also brought in the end, as they progressed in the process, an extraordinary professionalism, an ability to understand where they were in the story. And I think they give three extraordinary performances. So we were very blessed with the kids that we eventually, after a very long audition process, found. It was an amazing experience shooting the film. The kids that we found come from very challenging backgrounds, but they're extraordinary kids who'd never done anything like this before. And so the journey was a journey of discovery for them about how to make a film, how to make a story like this, and for us with them. And so it's very much their story. The character that the machine plays is challenged and tries to find ways in which he can help, but not really upset the status quo. And he's sort of a man that lives within the notion of compromise. And the kids, of course, don't understand compromise and fight and are idealistic in the way that he used to be. So in a sense, the teacher becomes a pupil and the pupil become the teacher. And so he learns from the kids in the end that their tenacity and determination and courage is something that he needs right at the end of the movie to help get their story out. So in that sense, they help each other. Rio, well, we shot in Rio. It's not the Rio that people would normally see. We tended not to be in the more beatific parts that people might know. We tended to be in the sort of the back and beyond, and some communities that might not have ever seen a film crew in them before. So in that sense, it was a journey of discovery of the city, not just for me, but also for some of the crew, just to find places that nobody had actually ever seen or filmed in, or places and people on the margins of Rio. We've had an amazing time here in Brazil, and it's been a life-changing event for certainly myself. And you know, it's really a Brazilian film. There's only a couple of us from England that came out. And it's a Brazilian film, not just in terms of the people that made it, but it's a story, I think, very much made by, for, and informed by the dreams and aspirations of particularly the three young people whose story it is. And it's been a great privilege to be part of a Portuguese-Brazilian film.